So that's what it looks like now. So let's get a hole going. Oh, and it's pretty close to the Coca-Cola hole, where at least 100 broken Cokes and 38 whole ones were found. But I don't want to get too close to it. I'm going to stay about 5 feet away from it. So, looks like he left this one here. That's a pretty decent bottle, I think. I would say it's a $10 one. So, you know, sometimes people leave good bottles behind because they don't know what's good and what's not good. And here's another good one. That is a Spees. Yeah, it says Spees, you save it. And it's an interesting shape, and I've never found one this size, and so that's another $10 bottle just sitting there. Okay, I've been digging these holes 2 feet apart from each other, and then when I dig a new hole, I fill in the other one next to it. So this was a hole, and that was a hole, and that was a hole, and that was a hole, and this one here I'm getting ready to fill in right now with just the excess dirt right around here, because I don't really want to leave a mess. I don't want to get this place shut down to dig in, so I'm trying to keep it kind of neat. Kind of neat, not super neat, but a lot better than some people would leave it. So it's kind of jungle-like. We got to cut this vine out of the way. It's in my way. Okay, that's about the size of the hole. 4 feet square. So let's get this opened up and let's get some treasure. I'm already getting worn out because there's so many more roots over here than those last few holes. Okay, the first thing out is depression glass green drinking glass. And it's got a couple of radiating cracks, so I was gonna saw it down and make it into a shorter one, but still I think it's worth keeping because people just love depression glass, or uranium glass as some people call it, because it glows under a black light, and so many people like to look at that. It's worth $2 or $3 just as it is. Talk about bruising. This is what some sodas look like after they've been sitting out a while. They could have started out perfect, but somehow they just get all these. I don't know if it's just a southeastern situation or what, but it seems to happen in eastern North Carolina for sure. Well, this is a dud hole. Too many roots and way too many bricks too. I've been throwing bricks out all day. So I might have to give up on this one pretty soon. Yeah, more bricks. And they're whole ones too. I think since we're right on the edge of the dump, this is a really bad spot because of the fact that it's sparshing out. See, I've dug over 2 feet deep, and all I'm getting is very few bottles, and this is the best one, and that's really not worth keeping. But if you were to glue a paper label on it, it might be worth keeping. I have some old soda labels from the late 30s which I could glue onto this to make it more displayable. All of a sudden a milk bottle just appeared. But it is ACL, but it is readable. I might spray this one. Okay, I sprayed it. It's pretty rough, but at least I might be able to repaint it because I've got something to work with. But this is the one that was those great ones with the star embossed on it. It's too bad that 9 out of 10 of these are ACLs in this dump, because the embossed ones are so much better. Okay, we got something cobalt. It's got a label on it, and it's got embossing on it. Complimentary. I used to have one of these, but somebody stole it, so I got a replacement now. Actually has a steel cap on it, some kind of metal that's rust proof. It's pretty clean. I wonder if this is the evening in Paris. Oh yeah, it's embossed. I think it's the same company. Okay, I just popped out a 16-ounce pharmacy cork top. So that's a pretty nice score for Slick Pharmacy to find one that big. So, not doing too bad, but this is by far the worst hole, and it's very shallow, and this is already at the bottom, only 2.5 feet deep. So I'm gonna go find another spot pretty quick. Okay, we might be getting lucky now. I think we got a half-pint milk. Is it embossed? Oh no. Another plain one. What a chip. Well, it's worth $2.50 anyway. Well, that's no good, and it's so close to that loaded hole. That hole was so good, but I guess I just missed the edge of it. Okay, I'm gonna find another hole because you guys are definitely not satisfied with this one. Okay, I'm thinking, since all these places I dug already and they were so good, why not dig right over here? Yeah, this is definitely going to be better than that last hole. Okay, here's the spot. I moved over a few feet from this brick thing because it just didn't feel good when I probed it. Felt empty, like it's already been dug or something, but over here there's plenty of roots in this one too, but at least they're thin and easier to deal with. Okay, the first one out reminds me of digging 33 years ago, because I used to find some of these. There's some kind of barber bottle with these weird little indentions in the side, I guess for your fingertips maybe. I don't know, but it's obviously a barber bottle because it's got a little tiny hole in the top. 5 feet away from a good hole again, and yet there's no layer in here at all. I'm already down 2 feet and I've only found one bottle. It seems very sparse, but I came so far, so I gotta keep going. Okay, finally another bottle. Barely worth keeping. It's the Chattanooga Medicine Company, so they got kind of a nice shade of green, but other than that, I don't know, it's maybe a $2.50 bottle. A heaping helping of dirt, and it looks like something, maybe a soda in there. Oh, it was a soda, but it's a big Frosty. Surprising. I never found one of those in this dump, but they're a very common bottle, especially if it says Who Tap on the bottom, and it does. But at least it's a little bit older. It's just different here because it doesn't even start till 2.5 feet down is where all the bottles start coming out. But I just found this one, and it has embossing on it. What's it say? I've seen these before, but I have never found one in this dump, or, well, I don't remember ever finding any of these anywhere. Okay, found another one of these White House. The one with the interesting pattern on it. So, I don't know what these are worth, but I think at least $10. Okay, it looks like a bleach bottle. Okay, it's a Deltox, so I guess that's slightly better than a Clorox, except people like the name brand of Clorox, so probably they're actually better. Who knows? I had to put on a long sleeve shirt because the mosquitoes are so bad, and it's only 2 o'clock. Aren't the mosquitoes supposed to come out in the morning only? Especially in the evening. But on a sunny 2 o'clock day, I'm confused. Whoa, I found a giant piece of cobalt glass. What? Oh my god, a Noxzema in a half-gallon size? I mean, look at it compared to my hand. I mean, this thing is about 5.5 inches wide. This is crazy. I never thought anything like that could exist. That's worth bringing home just because it's so interesting. And because it's a giant slab of cobalt blue. Could be made into arrowheads, but I think it's more unique with the Noxzema label that big. And it's another White House. But this one has the pour spout on it. This one has a pour spout, which makes it a lot better than the other 10 that I found that were screw tops. So I'm happy with that. Pulled 2 big whiskeys out at the same time. And that is different. This is a unique style. It's a little bit thinner, and I've never seen one like it. It's got these interesting patterns on it and embossed in it. Yeah, I've really never found one of these before, so that's a keeper. Okay, do you see it? It's a cobalt poison of sorts, and it has a lid on it too. That's pretty nice. It's different than the last one I found because it was a corker and it was fatter than this one. So with the lid on it, I think it's got to be worth at least $10. A couple of bottles that are questionable as to whether they're worth keeping. This is kind of an interesting shape, but... And this is, I think, a 12-ounce pharmacy, but it's got screw top, so... Right, I found an unexpected one. A new grape. Everybody loves that shape. And it looks to be in perfect condition too. So that's a good one. No town on the bottom, but that's a great bottle anyway. Okay, I found a hubcap. I think it's a Ford. Yeah. Ford hubcap, a miniature kind. The kind that's only 4 inches wide. It's in beautiful shape too. So that's probably worth $10. Well, it's an amber corker. So I think it's worth $2 anyway. Okay, I just knocked down a milk bottle. Damn it, it's just a plain one. And it's got a crack in it anyway. But it does say White and Company. Probably another one of those kind that would have had the star if it had been a couple years older. Okay, here comes a big cobalt something or other. Oh man, look at the size of that. It's 3-sided like a owl poison. And it's got to be a 32 ouncer. But it's from the Norwich Company. I found these before, but they were much smaller, about 1/3 as big. I have never found one this giant before. So that is definitely one of the best bottles of the day, if not the best. There's one I've never found before. It's a corker and it's embossed. What's it say? I can't read it through the lens, but hopefully you can read it. I haven't found one of these for years. I used to think they're junk, but the more I look at it, the more I like it. I think it's worth $3.50, don't you? Well, I just flipped this one out, and then there's Pepsi. This is like a 1923 Pepsi. So, I don't know why that was in here. It's from Kinston also. Yes, definitely 1924 at the newest. So, yeah, it's right at the 100-year-old mark. So, it's too bad it's broken off, but I think I'll still bring it home because it is rather interesting. Somebody might pay $4 for it like that. And another one of these White House, but these are really kind of nice. I think I only find them in this dump. In this particular variation, that is. Well, this hole just isn't as deep as the rest, and it only has a layer that's at the bottom foot. But there is one bottle up high, and it looks like a keeper too. Yeah, it's a megaphone shaped log cabin syrup. I think I have enough of these now. I've got about 10 of them now. Okay, I found something interesting. From Dr. Varney and Company from Hagerstown, Maryland. And it's embossed on the sides as well. And it's a corker, so that seems like a throwback. It seems like it's got to be from the early 20s. So that's a good one. Well, I'm about finished with this one. These two holes that I dug weren't even quite as good as one regular hole. But that's the way it goes sometimes.